The particular drawing that I'm going to be working on, here we go, you should have that image on screen now, will have, let me just grab a felt tip pen here, a main road that we're going to be joining into, so that's the road running along the right hand side of this image, and we're going to be constructing the road coming in on the left hand side of this image. The road that I'm going to be joining into, I have manipulated it, played with it, so that the crossfalls are going all over the place. You'll see that from the contours in a moment. So it's not a nice smooth road. It's what you might get if you were taking a real survey on a real road. So we want to get a nice smooth join between the two with our modelling. What we're probably also going to want to do, well, to begin with, I guess you've probably all seen images like this before. This is typically what the standard intersection tools in 2010 will give you as a complete built intersection. We might in fact use that if we had, for instance, in the background here, a whole bunch of extra roads coming and joining in the background here. You can see those red lines I'm drawing on screen there. You can have a whole subdivision off to the back here, and you can use those full intersection tools. In that instance, it's all going to be greenfield stuff, so that's what you want. But when it comes to joining into the main road in here, we're going to need to do something slightly different. So what I am proposing that you probably want to do is, if I can just erase that bit, that's better, is come along and in this main road put a saw cut through. It runs along there, if I can keep my mouse more or less steady. Saw cut along the edge of the road and cut through into the curb and channel there, and essentially replace that entire section so that the piece that we're going to be constructing will look like, if I can change my colour here, will be this area in here. Okay, so that's what we actually want to build. Hopefully that'll make sense to you. It may make more sense as we go through and actually do it. So let's go and actually do the demo, eh? Okay. Just let me tab through to my Civil 3D. There it is. Okay. So I'll just let your screens catch up there for a moment. Just switching to Civil 3D. There we go. You should have it up on screen now. Okay, so just got the standard ANZ template there. I'm just going to delete those words out of it. And I'm going to go and grab a land XML that I've constructed of the surface that we want. So I'm going to grab a land XML. It's in, just navigate to it quickly. There it is, and open it up. Go OK. Alright, just let your screens catch up a little bit there. Screen's still, there we go, screen's catching up now. And there we go, you should be able to see the surface now. Now in the top area there is where I've constructed these dummy roads, if you like. I'm going to just zoom in on the area there. Up in here. For us to go and have a look at. Okay. I am going to, first of all, sketch in the, well, actually let's do this. Let's just change my surface properties here a little bit. I'll just prove that this is a wonky road. So I'm going to just change that to contours 1 and 5 meters. Zoom in a bit. let your screens catch up, and you should see that the actual contours we're looking at in a moment when they come up. Okay, it's still waiting. Still waiting for it to catch up. There we go. You should be able to see now that those contours there, they're not uniform down the road. I've played with the edges of the road and lifted bits up and put bits down, so it's not a uniform crossform. So it's a more of a realistic model to be working with. Okay, zooming out a bit. We're going to make an intersection that basically cuts and joins in one of these existing bits of road. Let me just for the moment turn those triangulations back on. I want to use those for a moment to sketch in the edge of the road. Okay. Now, I'm going to make an alignment to begin with, and we'll get it to intersect somewhere in this curve section of road. And actually, we'll do two curved roads intersecting, huh? Because you know, it's no harder to do with these intersection tools, and it's just to prove that there's no extra steps involved. So I'll just switch to the Home tab, go to the alignments, create an alignment. We've all done this before with a bit of luck. I'm going to call it Dean Street because I haven't had a road named after me yet. Give it time, and it's going to be a centerline type alignment. I'm going to just draw a straight element for now from here to say there, into that, and then I'm going to put a floating curve on it. Where are we? Floating curve from an entity with a radius and length will do it. We're going to go from there. It's going to go counterclockwise. Specify radius, that will do. And the curve length, we'll take it out to there. Enter. Okay, so we've got two curved roads intersecting at the curved sections. I'm just going to bring this one back a bit so that they both make a T intersection. Find the intersection point here. Just regenerate that, might help it. There we go. Okay. Just had to use the apparent intersection marker on that. Okay, so that's our road alignment. What I would like to do now is go and make a profile of that. So I've got to design, this is our new road alignment, I should say. Oh, sorry for your screens to catch up. There we go. That's our new road alignment there that we want to work with. I'm going to go make a design profile from that. So from the Home tab on the ribbon, create a profile from surface. It's going to be on that alignment. We're going to add in EG with road and draw it in profile view. And I'm just going to go with the screens are slowly catching up there. I'm just going to go with the default profile settings. I'm only using it for I'm not using it for output purposes, so how it looks is not 100% critical. Draw the profile view, and I'm going to pop that one up here somewhere. just going to zoom into the end of it. And you ought to see on the screen now, we can see the actual, on the right hand end, the area where the our new alignment, Dean Street, intersects with the existing road there. We can see the crossfall in the road and the step up in the curves that are in that existing road. So I'm going to just make myself a design profile here now. Profile creation tools, select that profile. Just keep that default name, that's fine. Okay. And let's see, I'll draw tangents without curves for the moment. One there, one there, one there. Okay, what I'm actually going to do is take that IP point, I'm going to attach it there. So I've got the slope of my road, or the crossfall of my road mimicked in the design profile I've got. And I'm just going to drag, oops, let your screens catch up. So I've got the the existing crossfall of the road mimicked in the design profile, and then I'm going to grab one of these glyphs and drag it out a bit, about like that, so I know I've matched that crossfall. Okay, you should be seeing something like that on screen now. And then I'm going to put in a vertical curve. Let's go for free parabola, PVI based, pop it in there. Curve length's going to be about that for the moment. Zoom in a bit, see what we're working with. And it's not too bad, I might want to just drag that so the curve somewhere close to there. Okay, so that's my design profile done. That will do for what we're doing today. Pretty happy with that. Okay, going back to the plan view. Just while I've got these triangulations turned on, I'm going to run I want to construct an alignment that is the left-hand side of the main road that we're joining into. And we're going to use that to form our intersection model. So I'm going to go again to the alignment creation tools. This particular one I'm going to call LEB, left edge of bitumen. And I will leave the styles as they are for the moment. Now when you're putting these ones in, I'm just going to make it straight line segments, tangent, tangent, no curves. Okay, you can sketch it in however you like, but make sure you come back to begin this alignment far enough away from the edge of the model. Turn my own snaps off. Sorry, from the edge of where the intersection is going to occur, so that you're not you're not running out of alignment when you're trying to build your intersection. So I'm going to sketch this in on the edge of my road. I'm just going to do it fairly roughly here just for the sake of example, but you'd probably do it more carefully with a real job that you've actually gone out and surveyed the edge of the road, so you know where it is anyway. I'm going to pop that down there. Okay, so that's my LEB alignment. That being done, that's why I wanted to leave my my triangulation on, so I can make sure I got that in the right place. I'm just going to turn that triangulation off in the surface properties, so we just got contours in the background, make it a bit easier to see. Contours 1 at 5 meters. Okay, that's looking better. Alright, that being done, I want to make a profile from that now, just to make sure that I've got it in the right place. I'm going to actually need that profile when I build the intersection, so let's go and do that. So once again, go to the profile drop down in the ribbon, create surface profile. It's going to be using, pick my alignment on screen. If you've got lots of alignments, good idea to be picking them on screen so don't get the wrong one. So I've got LEB there, and add it in that surface and draw it in profile view. Select all the defaults for the profile view, and I'll put LEB over here. So just let your screens catch up. There we go. And you should see that we've got no violent steps in that profile, so it's not running over the edge of the curb. I haven't got it grossly out of place. And you can see it's not a uniform slope, it's wavering a little bit all over the place like the edge of a road might do. Hopefully not too much. But yeah, that's what I was aiming for with the model we're starting off with. Okay, back to the plan view. Now we will also if we want that. Do we need to do that? Okay, we possibly do. Okay, let's just go and also just for that main road, we'll make an existing road profile out of that too, because I think we're going to need that for the intersection. You'd need to do that if you hadn't, or in a normal job anyway. You'd want to do that as well, so let's go do that. So I'm going to once again go, begging your pardon, not alignment, I'm going to go profile, create a surface profile, and we're going to do it for that main road. That one there, which happens to be called actually side 2. Add in the EG with road surface and draw on profile view. Create the profile view, and I'm going to put that over here. And I've got an old profile in there. I'm just going to delete that out because that would just confuse things. So we've got actually a surface in there, which is our design surface, which is what we're going to use. Okay, alright, that should be enough to let us get started on making the intersection. Before I do that, I'm just going to make a little save. Always good practice to make saves. Desktop in there, and we'll call it drawing 1. It's not going to do that, is it? Okay. Alright. That being done, let's continue. Okay, now we can go and make our little intersection. Just let the screens catch up. There we go. Okay, so we're going to use the intersection tools. Create intersection from the ribbon. It asks for the intersection point, so you go and click on your intersection of your main road and your side road. And we get the intersection wizard that you will have seen before. There we go. You should be able to have that on screen by now. We're going to stick with the main road retaining its crossfall, which is what we're looking for in this particular instance, so we'll run with that. And I'm going to go to the next part of the wizard, and this is where we need to start modifying things a little bit so that the new intersection it's creating uses those alignments of the surveyed main road for its levels and its relation, its alignment in plan view. So what we want to look at is first the offset parameters. So I'm going to click in there, and we get this little screen coming up. It's the primary road left side we want to adjust. So if I just click in there, you'll see in the background, just move that out the way. When you click on that piece on screen, so your screens catch up. There we go. It highlights in the background so you can see which part of the road you're dealing with. So we're going at the moment it's not set to use an existing alignment. We want it to use an existing alignment, so we're going to say yes. We're going to use the the left offset of the primary road is actually going to make that use that LEB alignment that we made. So I'm just selecting that on screen now. Just let the screens catch up. There we go. So I'm selecting on screen. That's the LEB alignment. I'm going to go OK. And so it's grabbed that and it's going to use that as the edge of our intersection. Okay, that's what we want. And go OK. We're then going to go to the, we can go to the curb return parameters, and again in the background you'll see it highlights, and the screens catch up, the curb return you're talking about, and the southwest quadrant one. Just let the screen catch up. Yep, in the background you can see that highlighted. The southwest quadrant, I'm just going to increase the radius on that a little bit, from 9 meters to make it 12 meters. Okay, just to make it a bit easier for cars to turn around. And what we also want to do is we want to look at these lane slope parameters. Okay, so we've widened out to that LEB alignment that we made. Now we also want to grab the elevations off that profile we made for it, or that existing profile. So again, primary road, just let your screen catch up. Again, we're adjusting the left side of the primary road. Make it to use an existing profile, yes. We can select the profile we want to use. So I'm just going to go up to the LEB profile view we made. Screens catch up. There we go. So EG with road, LEB VP2 is the name of it. And go OK. And OK. Alright. That being done, we should be right. So we go next on the corridor. Oh, sorry, on the intersection wizard. I've just changed my curbs with no footpath, matches what's there currently, so we'll run with that one. That intersection's set, and go create intersection. Okay, we're getting there. Okay, not too much of this is different from what you would have done previously for making a normal intersection, except for those new widenings and the change of profile, just to make the intersection match the existing surface that we've surveyed in. Okay, go back to the plan and see what we've got. Just let the screens catch up there. It's built our intersection for us, but it's, as you can see, the complete intersection all across the road. What's nice to see is the edge of intersection is actually lining up with that LEB alignment we made. Okay, so what we want to do is select the, well actually we want to just do a check first though. So what I'm going to do is just modify the surface style slightly so that we can see it in the 3D viewer. Model, just turning on the triangles there for that surface. Now I'm going to select that surface and the intersection and go to the object viewer. I always tend to check things in 3D. It's a great tool for being able to do that. Just let the screens catch up. For being able to make sure that everything's working as you expect it to be. I'm just going to zoom in on our section down there. Okay, this is what I wanted to see. Screens catch up, we're almost there. Right, okay. So that's what I wanted to see, which is that the area on the left side of the existing road, this 3D viewer is getting a little bit confused in that it's trying to display the grey surface and the corridor underneath in the same position in space, that is overlapping exactly on top of each other. So what it's doing is doing a dotted effect where you can see the grey surface, and you can see the corridor surface as well, and it's sort of stripy or dotted effect. Okay, that means the two of them are exactly in the same plane, which is what we were trying to achieve. We've got the corridor intersection, or the intersection corridor I should say, now exactly mapped onto the grey surface, which is what we were trying to do with our intersection when we were building it. So that's perfect, that's what we wanted. Okay, now we can look at what we need to do to modify that intersection. Okay, a couple of things we want to do probably before we modify it is we want to have our, well, by modify it I mean cut it back to a saw cut line and get rid of those extraneous bits we don't need on the main road. What we want to do is go and get the curb returns to match into the existing roadway and the new one as well, new roadway as well. I'll show you what happens. We'll just construct those and you'll see what happens anyway. So I'm going to create a profile, create a surface profile. The alignment I'm going to choose, I'm going to zoom in and pick one of these curb return alignments going around the corner. That's the northern one there. And just let your screens catch up. Almost there. Yep, there you go, you're caught up now. Now I'm going to add in EG with road and draw the profile. Create profile view. And I'm just going to pop the profile up here next to my Dean profile. Now, this is what happens. By default, your screens are still catching up, I expect, but by default, Civil 3D puts in a straight line segment between the two intersecting roads for the curb return. That is to say, it doesn't put any curves in the vertical alignment of the curb return. This is something I talked to them about when they were first developing or bought Civil 3D out as a beta version, the 2010 beta version. I asked them if they could put curves in there, but they still they didn't do it at that stage, and they still haven't done it. So it's not a great hardship to put curves in there. You can see on the left-hand side there we've got Dean Street with the vertical curve coming in, and we've got a straight line segment on the right, the blue one, which is the main road going out, and in between we've got our curb return. If you highlight it, you can see the glyphs there show the beginning and the end of the curb returns. All I need to do is have it highlighted, hit the geometry editor from the ribbon, and we put in a PVI point. So I'm going to put in a PVI, or point of vertical intersection, down there, another one about here somewhere, enter. And if I haven't got the grades quite right, I can just manipulate those slightly to get them looking about right. Remember, this is a vertical exaggeration here of 5 times, so it's going to be pretty close to being absolutely correct if we get it looking correct in here. All right, so having done that, I've just put in two. We're going to put a reverse curve in here, so that's why I put in 2 PVIs. And let's go and create a, let's just do a circular vertical curve for the curb return. I'll put one in there. The curve length will be, let's make it that big. Put another one in there. See the curves come in nice and yellow and pretty. There we go. So now we've got our curve return. When we rebuild our intersection, we'll have some nice curves flying around that corner in a vertical sense. And we do the same on the for the lower one. Let me just see if we can see what's going on there. I'm just going to grab that intersection, go to the object viewer, and try and show you what we're trying to remove out of here. Some people in Australia say they don't care about this. The ground they work with is so flat that you're never going to see these kinks, but anywhere where you are working with ground that it's reasonably, or terrain that's reasonably steep or got some slope to it, you're going to see that. Here we go. Okay, let's just zoom in on that bit there. Okay, this is what we're talking about. Oops, if I can just get it to see properly. Where are we? Does it reconstruct itself? Yeah. At the moment we've got the curve return coming around the corner here. And you can see then there's a few lines up above it. Those lines up above it are the profiles we've created with a nice smooth curve going around the corner. And the one underneath where the model currently is and hasn't been changed, updated yet, is the straight line. Actually, it's around the other way. Looks like the model's updated already. Okay, the straight line is the lines that are up above here. The profiles that are up above there are the straight lines. So you end up with a kink down at on the left-hand end here, where the intersection hits the side road. You'd end up with a kink in the curve return at that point. What we've done is smooth that out by putting in the vertical geometry into that curve return, and we get a nice, more smooth flowing effect around the corner. You won't see that when you're driving or walking along there. Okay, let's just quickly do the same thing for the bottom curve return. Oh, actually, we're probably, yeah, okay. We would do the same thing on the bottom curve return, but for the moment I think we don't need to repeat that necessarily. We'll just continue on and save a bit of time. So you do that for the top and bottom curve returns and get the nice curves, the vertical geometry curved nicely in there. Okay, well, that being done, we're going to go and remove those extraneous bits of the intersection model that we don't want, which are these ones on the main road. Okay, to do that, it's relatively easy. Just select the intersection corridor, go into the corridor properties up in the ribbon, the parameters, and you'll see if I select one of these regions down here, it actually highlights in background, which is, you might have seen that. I'll just let your screens catch up. You might have seen that already in 2010 if you've been using it. You can select the regions of a corridor and the highlight in blue. And just hopefully, I think your screen's caught up there. There it goes. You can see that area is highlighted in blue. If I click on another one, the other area of that intersection is highlighted in blue. So those are the ones I want to remove, pardon me, are the ones on the main road. So I'm just going to right click on each of those and go remove region, right click, remove region. Oops, split region. Didn't want split region, I wanted to remove region, that's much better. And remove region. Okay. That being done, go OK. and they've disappeared. What I also probably want to do, a nice thing about this too, is the fact that I can, since I've changed that curve return, I actually want to rebuild my intersection. So I'm going to right click, I'm going to expand out my intersections up in here on the right hand side, left hand side, and my corridors. So you can see the corridors. It's actually telling me that's gone out of date since I changed those curve returns profiles. So I'm going to rebuild that, all those regions and the corridor. The nice thing about it is once I've deleted those particular regions out of the intersection, it actually remembers that I've deleted them. Continue with update. So it's actually rebuilt the intersection and the corridor, but you can see it hasn't tried to put in those regions I've got rid of, which is what you want. If you do want to rebuild them all, you select the actual intersection object, which is a little white cross in the middle of your intersection, a cross with a circle. Just let the screens catch up. There we go. And then up in the ribbon, you hit this button called Recreate Corridor Regions, and that will rebuild the entire intersection model, including all the regions you've removed. So only do that if something's really stuffed up and you want to go back to how you had it to begin with, and then start cutting out regions again. Alright, we don't want to do that, so I'll hit the escape button. Okay, we've got our model built. Now, that's all good, that's all well and good, except currently we haven't got our saw cut line in the road. So at the moment our model is only going up to the left edge of bitumen on our existing road. What I'd like to do is have the contractor go 600 mils from the edge of the road, put a saw cut down the road, and that's where my new seal is going to join into. So let's go and do that. So you can sketch in any alignment you want. In this case here, I'm going to select that LEB alignment that we made, and I'm going to use the offset alignment option to make an offset alignment that's attached to that LEB alignment. That's the new thing in 2000, or one of the new options in 2010. And I don't want any offsets on the left, so I'll put that at 0. I want one offset on the right. It's going to be 0.6 of a metre in from the edge of the road. And no labels, that will be fine from start to the end. Go OK. Okay, you should see on screen now, I've now got another little blue alignment, 600 mils to the right of the LEB alignment. Now I'm going to need to create another profile for that, because we're going to need to get the intersection model now to go out, widen out to that point, and also marry into the elevation of that point, so I'll need a profile for that. So I'm going to select on that alignment, and then we've got the surface profile option here up on the ribbon. So I'm going to make a surface profile. Just let the screens catch up a little bit. I'm going to add in EG with road and say draw on profile view. And create profile view, and my LEB, I'll put it up above my put that particular profile up above my LEB profile, just to somewhere good to put it. Alright, that being done, we just got to modify our model here, our corridor model, to widen out and use those particular elevations to match into. Alright, how do we do that? if you've made one of these, for the few people that have made one of these intersections before in versions 2009 and previous, you'll probably know how to do this already. For those who haven't seen this before, this is what you had to do in the old days for every part of the construction of these things, and it took quite some time and quite some amount of keeping track of and doing. So let's just jump in here and let you follow along. Okay, I'm going to select on the southern bit of the curb return, one of those magenta lines down there, which selects the intersection model, and then I'm going to just hit the button called Edit Region up in the ribbon, and it takes me straight to the corridor properties associated with that curb return part, of the model, or that particular region. You can see it's highlighted in blue. I know I've got the right one. What we're going to want to do is go into the targets for that one, for that line that's highlighted. And then we're going to need to change the width targets and the elevation targets. Currently the width targets vary, so let's click on that line and we'll see it's using both the alignment of Dean Street and the alignment LEB that we told it to use when we made our model. We want to remove that alignment LEB and replace it with our saw cut line. So I'm going to delete that one. And what I'm going to do is go and actually, what we should do, just cancel out of here for a minute. I'm just going to rename that alignment that we made to something more useful. Go into the alignment properties and we'll call it, at the moment it's called LEB offset right, which is okay, but I'm going to call it L saw, left saw cut, just so we know that we're dealing with the right alignment when we pick it. So it's called L saw. We go okay. Alright. Just letting the screens catch up. I'm jumping back into the corridor properties edit region back where we were before. The screens, just give your screens a second to catch up now. Okay, you should be there now. Once again, hit that target. Okay, so this is where we were before I changed the name of that alignment to LSAW. That's the one we want to go and choose now. So I'm going to go width alignment. We're going to get rid of this LEB one. And I'm going to go and pick on screen a new one to add in. So where it was previously going out to the middle of Dean Street and out to LEB, I'm now going to call it middle of Dean Street and this LSAW. So I'm going to select on screen and go OK. You can scroll down here and it has picked LSAW, so I'm happy about that. I've got the right one. That's why I changed its name, so I knew I would have the right one. And I hit this add button and it adds it in down the bottom. Go OK. And then we need to do the same thing with the profile. So it's widening out to that point. We need to give it the elevations for that point now. So I'm going to click on the slope elevation there. Just let your screen catch up. Okay, here it comes. Alright. That being done, at the moment it's going out to Dean Street, which is what we want. This LEB one, I'm going to remove that again, and we're going to select on the screen that alignment, and where's my profile? Here's my profile for LEB. Just let your screens catch up. Okay. LEB offset, I should say, which is now called LSAW. That's the alignment for LSAW. Add that in. Go OK. And OK. And OK. So let's remade that. And I'm going to zoom back in again. The screens are just catching up, but that's fine. Give it a second, there we go. Hey, catching up. Now I'm going to pick again on the northern curve return now. In the northern curve return area. And I'm going to want to widen out those ones to an alignment and a profile in exactly the same way as what we did before. So I'm going to go Edit Region. I'm going to go, that's the correct region because I can see it in the background. Go into its targets again. I'm going to go and change its width alignment. Get rid of LEB. Pick on screen the alignment I want. I'm just going to whiz through this and your screens will just catch up as we go. So that's my LSAW alignment added in. OK. And once again I'm going to go and pick the profile. Side elevation profile. Alignment is going to be that one. And that's LEB. Yep. Add that one in. I'm going to get rid of LEB. We've got the LSAW profile, which is what we want. Okay. And okay. Alright, that all being done. I'm going to rebuild our intersection. Oh, update regions and rebuild corridor, I should say. Just wait for you guys to catch up. There we go. Update regions and rebuild corridor. Continue with the update. And we should be able to see, well, I'm going to select that corridor again and select the surface again. Just wait for your screens to catch up. And go back into the object viewer and make sure our surface and our corridor are actually in the correct plane. Same as what we did at the beginning. Okay. Yes, they are. So I can see along the edge of my model there, maybe hard to pick up, I don't know how it's coming across the net there, but I can see the two, it's trying to display the grey of the surface and the darker grey of the corridor, both in the same plane there, so I know that they're nicely matched together and the levels are right that I'm using, so I'm happy with that. Let's just have a look at that model without the surface there. Just let the screen catch up. Okay, one little thing we need to do now, and then we're all done. You can see we've got the extra 600 mils built onto the edge of our model here. Right in the middle of the Dean Street alignment, there's a little V taken out of it, missing out of the model. Not too hard to fix. I could have fixed that on the way through, but I thought it would be better just to show you what it looks like if it happens to you, and so you'll know what it is. So let's go and fix that one up. All it is, we need to add in a couple of extra sampling points in the middle of this this model. So the way to do that, again, click on a region in the corridor, go Edit Region, just wait for you to catch up a bit there. Okay, previously we modified the targets in here, but we're now going to want to modify, just add in an extra frequency, a sampling frequency. So I'm going to click on the frequency column, click on this little plus down the bottom here, and I'm going to drop in a new, my snaps back on. And what I'm going to need is parent intersection. There we go. Click in there for a new sample point there, hit enter. Okay. And okay, again, it should pop one in there. Yep, it has. And again, I'm going to select the other region on the other side. Edit region. You could just do this directly from the properties box here, but to make sure you're getting the right one, it's quite a good way to do it graphically on screen now. Go frequency, add one in with the plus symbol, and we'll just get the endpoint there, will be fine. Enter. It's added one in. Go OK. And OK. Right. Rebuild, update regions, rebuild corridor once and for all. Object viewer. That's looking good. Happy with that. That's what I wanted. Okay. Yep, you should see that on screen now. Pretty happy with that one. Okay. Very quickly, last thing I wanted to just show you is getting volumes out of this thing via the old way of doing it in a corridor model would be quite horrible, because you have to essentially do each add up the volumes along each separate alignment, which is pretty horrible. What I've tended to be looking at just recently is doing it using the quantity takeoff stuff, and using the QTO. Let me see, it's under the Analyze tab. I can just quickly work out the, here we go, total area of paved surface in there, or the length of, well, in fact, we can do things like work out the length of the top of curb, so you can say the linear length of the curbing that is required in this corridor, which is also useful. So I'm just using the quantity takeoff bits and pieces. So the way we work with that, got a few minutes left to go, is to select the corridor, right click and go into the corridor properties. Now, instead of working in this parameters tab, we go to the codes tab, and you can see there's a pay item for the area for, I'll just scrunch that up a bit so it fits a bit better on screen. There we go. For each of the codes, either point codes or link codes. So if you want areas out, use the link codes. For linear lengths, you apply a pay item to a stretch it out a bit. It's really hard for me to see. Okay, you apply a pay item to a point code. So how do we do that? This is the code set we're currently using. You just go and edit that code set. You can't do it through that interface there. You've got to go into this one. So we've got a point there called, scrunch it up a bit so I can see it on my screen. All right. I'm looking for a point called top curb. I know that's one of the ones in my subassembly. I'll just wait for your screens to catch up. Screen's still catching up by the look of it. There we go. Okay, that's the top curb point code, and I go and assign a pay item to it. Let me just make sure it's okay. And I'm going to assign, well, this is the RTA one that comes by default, and you can go and find a point code in there that's in meters or square meters, depending on which one you use. I've just made my own ones down the bottom here in the pay item file. Sean's shown in previous webcasts how to do that. So I'm going to go and assign a linear measurement to that top of curb. So we're going to get the linear length of the top of curb points. We'll add it up together and go OK. So we've got that particular point code in there, and hopefully it's not applied it to anything else. No, it hasn't. It's good. And then I'm going to go up and do a square meter one on the pave link. Just let your screens catch up. Scroll up and find the pave link there. Go across to the pay item and say, okay, I want to put a square meter area on that. And go okay. I'm just going to check that's done that correctly. C1, 2, 3, 4. C1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the top curb. Just let your screens catch up. So I've just done a little check to make sure that's worked properly, and that's okay. Just let your screens catch up. Okay. Just check through there, and that's looking all right. Okay, that being done, I go okay. And what I do need to do to get this to work properly is to then go and just rebuild the corridor. So I'm just going to go into the tool space, right click, rebuild the corridor. And then we're done. Then all I need to do is go into this Takeoff Manager, just let your screens catch up. Okay, so we can now take off the quantities. Hit the Takeoff button, go for the entire drawing, and click the Compute button. Okay, I think you're just catching up there. Just change it to the XML format. And there's our summary takeoff report. So for that particular corridor, we've got 199.5 square meters of road surface, and the linear measurement, which is our curbs. We could have named that curb in that takeoff file if we wanted to. If you want to get the report out looking a bit better rather than saying linear measurement, but you've got 54.2 meters of curbing in that little corridor as well. So I think that's probably an easier way to get your corridor quantities out. You've got that road surface now, and you just multiply it by the thickness of the paving that you're applying on that area, rather than having to add up lots of different areas to get the areas out of in the old way of using the end area method of calculation for all your volumes. See how you go anyway. All right. The other thing you might want to do is go and we've got 1 minute. If you can spare me 1 minute, I'll go for 1 minute more. Just go and get the set out points for this intersection as well. So the way I'll do that is to select the corridor from the launch pad and the ribbon. You get points from corridor, and then you can turn off all these extraneous ones. You guys are just catching up. I'll let you catch up. Turn off all the bits you don't want turned into points, into COGO points. It makes a new point group. I'm just going to call it the TK point group, and go OK. You can see in the background there it's made a whole pile of points. That's a new point group. Just let your screens catch up. Okay, you can see those points in the back in the the drawing there. Made a whole bunch of them, all just on the TK top of curb points as it runs around the intersection. And we've got a new point group up in here called TK. And we can use the option to export points, and it'll spit it out to a CSV file that you can give to your surveyor. They can go and set out your intersection. And of course you can grab any other points you want from that corridor as well. Alright, well hopefully that's given you a good start. As I said, you can download this in a few days' time from the webcast, from the site I should say. Thank you, have a nice afternoon and an even better weekend. We'll catch you later. Bye.